The waitress gave her last meal to a dying stranger. When he awoke, his true identity as a billionaire shocked everyone. The rain was coming down like buckets of water dumped by the gods, pounding loudly on the tin roof of the little diner at the edge of the Masai Mara grasslands. Wind whipped dust and dry grass against the windows with sharp smack sounds. The place was called Savannah Stop, the only joint in town serving hot meals, but right now it was empty except for 3 customers huddled in a corner. Nadia stood behind the counter, her hands red from the cold. She just pulled the last pot of ugali off the stove, steam still rising from the bottom. This was the last proper meal left today, enough cornmeal porridge with a side of bean stew to fill a grown man's belly. She glanced at the cracked wall clock, 5:40 p.m. 20 more minutes and she could walk the 4 kilometers home through the hills. Mama would be waiting for whatever leftovers she could bring back, and little brother needed 5 shillings for his schoolbooks tomorrow. She looked down at her plastic sandals, the ones from last year's charity handout, now worn through at the toes. At 23, she already looked 30-something, her skin rough, eyes always tired. Then the door banged open. A gust of wind and rain blew in as an old man stumbled inside, soaked to the bone like he'd been fished out of a river. His faded blue coat was ragged, pants torn at the knees, feet caked with mud. His face was gray, lips purple, walking like every step hurt. Nadia froze. She'd never seen this elder before, definitely not from town. More like one of those abandoned old-timers wandering in from the wildlands. In Maasai tradition, elders deserved respect, but nowadays too many got left behind to beg or scavenge. Sit here, she said quickly, pulling out a chair. The old man just wheezed. Unable to speak, his cloudy eyes locking onto hers. Boss Abdullah stuck his head from the kitchen, frowning. Nadia! Don't encourage him. These types never leave until we chase them out. But, he looks half dead, she whispered. Then let him die after the rain stops, Abdullah snapped. Remember, that last meal's reserved for the truck driver, he promised double pay. Nadia bit her lip. The driver hadn't shown, but she couldn't disobey the boss. She gave the old man hot water and a rag to dry himself. His shaking hands were ice cold. 10 minutes passed. No driver. The storm worsened, thunder rolling. The old man's breathing grew shallow, his head nodding. 4-way road. Nadia's chest tightened. She knew on nights like this, without food or rmth, a weak elder might not see morning. She looked at the pot of ugali, then at the old man. Suddenly she remembered Grandpa. 3 years ago, he'd gotten sick on a rainy night just like this. No money for hospital. Died painfully at home. That night, she'd also had just 1 bowl of food, and couldn't save him. I won't let it happen again, she told herself. Taking a deep breath, she scp'd a generous portion of ugali with half the remaining beans, setting it gently before the old man. Eat, mzee, she said softly. Food gives strength for tomorrow's journey. The old man looked up, surprise and gratitude flashing in his eyes. His trembling hands lifted the spoon, each slow bite seeming to swallow life itself. Abdullah stormed out, furious. Nadia! Are you mad? That's the last meal. What about the driver? He's dying, she said, finding courage. We can't just watch. Save him. This is a business, not a charity house. Abdullah read. No wages for you tonight. Nadia stayed quiet. Another month's pay gone. But watching the old man finish his last bite with a faint smile, something inside her felt right. Suddenly, the old man grabbed her wrist. Cold but strong. In a low voice, he spoke ancient Maasai words, Ngayo Bolito, and Kayo saying what? The gods see your kindness. You've saved not a beg but a lost lion. Nadia froze. She knew this proverb. Grandma used to say it. But how would a ragged old man know such ancient blessings? Before she could react, the old man slumped unconscious in his chair. Doctor! We need a doctor, she screamed. Abdullah just sneered. Leave him. Dead means burial costs. Ignoring him, Nadia ran into the storm, flagging down a boda motorcycle. She pulled out her last $10, 3 months' savings for brother's new shoes, begging the driver to take them to hospital. Nairobi Outskirts Hospital. Hurry! He's dying! The bike skidded through muddy hills, Nadia clinging to the old man, rain masking her TRS. She didn't know who he was, if she'd lose her job, whether $10 would even cover hospital. Fees. But she knew one thing, if she hadn't served that ugali tonight, she'd never forgive herself. The rain kept falling. The savannah winds howled, whispering of fates about to change. At the ER, the doctor took one look and frowned. Severe pneumonia. Malnutrition. Needs admission. How much? Nadia asked, shaking. At least 800 shillings up front. Plus meds. She emptied her pockets, 2 coins left. Handing over the crumpled $10 bill, she pleaded, "It's all I have, please help him." The doctor studied the money, then Nadia's soaked clothes and raw hands. After a pause, he nodded. "We'll admit him. The rest, we'll see." Exhausted, Nadia collapsed on a hallway bench, shivering. Cold. Hungry. But inside, a small fire burned. She didn't know that at that exact moment, Allah RMS were blaring DARES salam at Golden Lion Group headquarters routers. A screen flashed red, last known location of Mr. Rushambeki, Kenyan border hills. And in the hospital bed, the unconscious old man murmured in his sleep, "The porridge, it woke me." Outside, the savannah rain kept falling. But some things were already changing. The 32-story glass skyscraper loomed over the Indian Ocean like a silent beast. Inside the top-floor Boa Room, tension hung thick enough to choke on. A dozen executives GLA read at news headlines flashing on the screen. Day 14, Golden Lion CA Rushambeki missing. Chopper lost NEAR Masai Mara border. Stocks crash 18%, investors panic. Finance Director K.A. Rum slammed the table. Call the police. Banks are re-freezing our credit lines. Legal counsel Samira snorted. Remember last time he Disape read 3 BOA RD members wound up in prison. He's probably sipping chai in some village right now. The room went dead silent. Everyone remembered the Purge 3 RS back, Becky vanishing for weeks, then returning with enough dirt to bury his rivals. This is different. K.A. Rum yelled. Black box signals place his chopper crashed in Kenyan hills. The door burst open. Security Chief Jabo Mott urged in clutching encrypted files. Kenyan police found wreckage near a diner called Savannah Stop. Pilot's dead, but no Mbeki. Tribesmen must have taken him, one exec shouted. Those Masai never forgave him for leaving. Or kidnappers, another BA or KED. Ransom's gotta be $500 million. Jabo shook his head. Wait. Some waitress took a homeless man to a Nairobi hospital yesterday. Funny thing, his watch matches the CS exact model. The room exploded. Send a team now. Keep media out. Samira held up her phone, a blurry photo of an old man in a hospital bed, a young woman beside him. Waitress saves billionaire. This is trending on East Africa forums. If it's him, we need damage control. Screw damage control. K.A. Rum ROA read. Extract him. Bad move, Samira Warned. If he. Josito Disape BA ridging and will piss him off. You know how he hates people making decisions for him. Jabo finished grimly. Stalemate. Nadia munched on stale bread, scrolling through her brother's frantic texts. Sis, Becky's Africa's most secretive billionaire. Walked from Maasai tribe to Tanzanian mines, built an empire. Funds 100+ schools but never gives interviews. Rumor says every rainy season, he dresses as a beg AR, walks home to help poor anonymously. Some call it penance. She remembered the old man's words, I was meant to die in the grasslands, but her porcelain bowl saved me. Not crazy. Just lost. A nurse rushed up, whispering, your patient's vitals are restable, but his watch keeps pinging satellites. Encrypted signals, our systems can't crack it. Nadia's stomach dropped. Spy Haya R, the door creaked open. Becky stood there pale but steady. We ring her brother's hand-me-down sneakers. I'm leaving, he said. You can't. The pneumonia survived mine collapses, 3 days in the desert without water. This he chuckled. A sneeze. Where will you go, Masa village? On foot. Like 30 years ago. Nadia gaped. 2 days hike through hills. In his condition Ariyu, really him. Becky pulled out an IDCA road. The face was younger, but unmistakable, a Russian Becky. Chairman, Golden Lion Group. Her hands shook. She'd saved a billionaire. Don't fear me, he said softly. To you, I'm just the man you kept alive. Boots pounded down the hall. 3 black-suited men Cha Ridge Tawa RD them, Jabo leading. Sir. Thank God. Jabo knelt. The Boa RD sent us. Your jet's ready. Becky's eyes turned to ice. I don't recall asking for rescue. But the stock crashed 30 years ago. I chewed bark to survive. Now you fret over stocks. Jabo swallowed Ha road. Becky glanced at Nadia. Thoughts I, no backroads, she blurted. Could guide you off-grid. A grin split his weathered face. Done. Jabo exhaled. We'll follow at a distance. No interference. Rain had stopped. The savannah burned gold under dusklight. Nadia led the way, Becky hobbled behind with a walking stick. Half a kilometer back, Jabo's SUV crawled along. Do I frighten you? Becky asked suddenly. A little, Nadia admitted. Billionaire playing beg AR, it's wild. 30 years ago, I was a beg AR. My father sta ved in a drought. My mother died sick. Elders called me cursed and cast me out. His voice roughened. I swore if I ever got rich, no Masai child would hunger again. But you did that. News says you donated. Money can't buy dignity. He kicked a pebble. Built schools, yet kids drop out to herd goats. Funded clinics, but elders still die alone. Then you gave me that bowl of porridge, and I understood. Nadia stopped. Understood what real help isn't throwing cash. It's seeing people. The wind rippled through tall grass. Village is close, Nadia said softly. Sunrise tomorrow, you'll be home. Becky gazed at the horizon. Not home. A beginning. Behind them, Jabo lifted a satellite phone. He's heading to Masa village. Mentioned atonement. A pause. Then Samira's voice crackled, prep the live crew. Don't tell him. All Africa will watch the lion return. Morning mist clung to the red EARTH huts and scattered acacia trees like gauze. The first rooster crow hadn't even faded when Nadia led Becky to the village edge. Her mother was already waiting, clutching the doorframe, then sprinting 4-way RD to crush Nadia in a hug. My child. Where have you been? Town rumors said police took you. Nadia laughed, shaking her head. Mama, I'm fine. Brought a guest. Her mother finally noticed Becky, his faded clothes, muddy sneakers, just another weary elder. But when she saw his eyes, she staggered. That look, she whispered. Just like a Russia, the boy they cast out. Becky slowly removed his cap, silver hair glinting. Influent Ma, he said, Aunt Asha, it's me. A Russia came home. Her mother clapped both hands over her mouth, knees buckling. Nadia caught her. Word spread like wildfire, a Russia's back. Alive. Villagers flooded the central clear ring, elders leaning on sticks, kids peeking from behind Pa Rent's legs. Chief Moisey emerged, ceremonial staff in hand. You claim to be a Russia, he boomed. Yet a Russia was banished 30 winters past. Never to return. Becky dropped to one knee. True. But I never forgot Maasai blood and soil. I'm here not for status or wealth, but to keep an oath. From his coat, he pulled that yellowed photo, young him beside Tanzania's president at Golden Lions HQ. This is me. A Russian Becky, chairman. 30 years building wealth to feed thousands. But yesterday, he glanced at Nadia. A girl gave me her last bowl of porridge. Not knowing who I was. Just that no one should sta Irv. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Some scoffed. Others wept. Then engines ROA red. 3 black SUVs tore into the village, Jabo and Gua RDS piling out. Worse. A satellite truck rolled up behind, antenna aiming SKYWA road. Witchcraft villagers cried, scrambling back. Jabo rushed to Becky. Sir, Samira insisted on a live feed. Africa needs to see this, she said. Becky scowled. I'm not a performance. But your Disape rants made global news. This isn't just your story, it's ours. Jabo pleaded. Let truth be seen. Nadia touched Becky's ARM uncle, maybe they're right. A long pause. Then a nod. Cameras rolled. Samira's voice bounced off satellites across the continent. Viewers, we're live in Masa village. Golden Lion CA Russian Becky's homeland. His first words since vanishing 2 weeks ago. The frame tightened on Becky. No suit, no tie, just wind in his white hair, dirt huts. Behind him. I am a Russian Becky, he said in Swahili. 30 years ago, exiled from my tribe, I walked to Tanzania. Sta route as a miner. Built Golden Lion. Thought hospitals and schools meant I'd done good. He turned to Nadia. But yesterday this girl gave her last meal to a dying stranger. No names. No Reva RDS. Just humanity. Nadia kept her head down, TRS dripping onto her worn sandals. In boardrooms, they call me billionaire. But that porridge burned away the lie, I'm Maasai first. Screens everywhere, miners weeping in shafts, teachers pausing lessons, BARS falling silent. Samira cut in. Becky announces he'll step down as chairman to rejoin his tribe. Meanwhile, Golden Lion launches a $5 million Savannah Renewal Fund for clinics, schools, and FARMS across 10 villages. The internet exploded. Porridge saves billionaire trended globally. Facebook, Nadia equals modern African hero. Twitter trolls, fake. Rich man's PR stunt. Conspiracy nuts, that's a body double. Then worst of all, Abdullah, Nadia's ex-boss, sobbed on a tabloid livestream, Nadia's like my daughter. I taught her to help elders. Reporter, then why skip the hospital? Abdullah froze. Busy running my diner, QMass ridicule, at least try to lie convincingly. Post-broadcast, tensions FLA red. Some cheered Becky. Others see the now he rolls in with cash, playing prodigal son. A man sneered. Where was he when his father sta bed thinks money buys forgiveness? Another spat. Nadia stepped four-way road. Since when do we spit on kindness? No gift too small, no giver too low, our own proverb. Kindness. The man laughed. Ha rshly. Our kids still quit school. Elders die untreated. Becky stayed silent. Only at nightfall did he light a bonfire in the Clea ringed. Your anger is just, he said, flames dancing on his face. I built schools elsewhere. Donated medicine, not here. From his pack, he pulled a ledger. Golden Lion's profits, 10% RLY, now go to a Maasai trust. You control it. The crowd held its breath. I resign as chairman. But I'll spend my days Reninji your mercy. He pressed his forehead to the dirt. Judge me. Chief Moisi approached, resting his staff on Becky's shoulder. Russia, your exile ends today. Come home as a son. The tribe erupted in ancient homecoming chants. Nadia wept openly. Truth had fallen like rain, washing clean, watering hope. Jabo murmured into a satellite phone, funds activated. First projects, hospital, school. Nadia Shield coordinate. Under the STARRY Savannah sky, the lion's legend was just beginning. Masa village, sunrise morning light painted the red EARTH huts gold. The air smelled of damp soil and wood smoke. Becky had pitched a traditional Maasai encampment in the village clearing, no luxury glamping, just a homecoming. Red cloth stretched over branches, animal hides on the ground. His only belongings a wooden chest holding threadbare clothes, that faded photo, and a leather-bound journal filled with notes. Nadia brought water each dawn. She noticed how simply he lived, corn porridge for breakfast, ugala from villagers at noon, often just tea at night. The fancy watch was gone, replaced by a beaded cattlebone necklace. Uncomfortable, she asked. I could get you a blanket. Nights get cold. Becky smiled. 30 years ago, I dreamed of leaving while sleeping in tents like this. Now I'm back, the dream's over. Day 1, Blood Covenant. By Maasai tradition, outsiders must undergo the blood oath to prove their hierarchy. Chief Moise presided as the village gathered. A calf was let out, their most sacred offering. The chief slit its throat, catching warm blood in a clay bowl. In Maasai culture, this meant life and loyalty, reserved only for honored guests or prodigals returning. Arusham Becky, the chief boomed. Once exiled, now returned. If your hierarchy is true, drink and swear. No hesitation. Becky raised the bowl, gulping it down. Blood dripped into his silvered bard, staining his beads crimson. I, Arusha, swear by our ancestors, I return not for glory or power, but to repay my debt. If I break this oath, may I die like a lion with broken horns. Silence. Then, the chief's staff tapped his shoulder. Your past is cleansed. Welcome home, son of Maasai. Drums erupted. Children danced the adumu, leaping high. Laughter rang like wind chimes. Nadia watched from the edges, eyes wet. Now she understood, this wasn't a stunt. It was a soul reclaiming its place. Night 2, SCARS unveiled by firelight. Becky read his past for the first time. My father was the tribe's best hunter, he said, flames flickering in his eyes. Then the great drought came. Cattle died. People ate bark. The elders said hangered the gods. Banished our whole family. You saw it happen, Nadia whispered. A nod. Asterisk, they tied him to a post. 30 lashes. My mother begged, no one listened. I was 16, held back by warriors. His last words. Arusha, survive. Don't let Maasai children starve again. He rolled up his sleeve, a jagged scar from the whip. Father died in the wild 3 days later. Mother followed within months. I lived off trash heaps. Then walked to Tanzania. Lied about my age, got into Golden Lion mine. First day, a cave-in buried me alive. 6 hours digging out. They called me a Russia the grave digger after that. Nadia held her breath. 10 Rs minor to foreman to partner. Bought Golden Lion at 30. But the richer I got, the more I felt like a ghost. Signing checks in skyscrapers while Masa kids went ba refoot to school. He opened his journal. These are my secret rainy season returns. Anonymous donations stolen by chiefs. Sponsored a girl's education, forced into mariage before graduation. Money doesn't fix roots. Nadia looked down. So this return, it's not just penance, it's rebuilding, he said firmly. Not me giving, you asterisk taking back what's yours. Asterisk. Day 3, Golden Lion's plan at dawn, Becky called a village meeting. Not standing above, sitting among them. 3 announcements, he said. First, the Savannah Renewal Fund launches today. $2 million upfront for the Nadia Health Center, serving 10 villages. Gasps. $2 million, more than lifetime's worth. Second, the Savannah Girls Fund. Full scholarships for 100 girls through university. Women wept. Maasai girls typically married at 15. Education. A fantasy. Third, modern farming co-op drip irrigation against droughts. Every family can invest, Shari profits. Young men's eyes lit up. No more praying for rain, but skeptics surfaced. Where's the money really from? A man shouted. 10% of Golden Lion's annual profits, Becky said calmly. Audited monthly. Elders and villagers control the books. Why trust you? Another challenge. Becky stood, stripping his shirt, revealing a vicious claw-shaped scar across his back. At 15, while Ryer's ca read this. Said, cursed one, never return, today we are it proudly. Because a Maasai lion, even exiled, always comes home to his pride. Silence. Then Chief Moise rose, touching the scar. This RK is Maasai. You always are, son. Day 4, a mother's TRS. Nadia's mother Asha shuffled to Becky's tent, collapsing at his feet. I begged them not to exile you, but no one listened. He lifted her gently. Auntie, your bread kept me alive. Today, I return that kindness. From his chest, he pulled a red pouch, unveiling a gold ring engraved with Maasai symbols. My mother's. Worn at 30 Rs. Now, it collateralizes the girls' fund. If money runs short, sell this. Asha clutched the ring, sobbing. Your father was right. You did stop Maasai children from starving. Nadia's heart swelled. This wasn't just one man's redemption, it was healing for the entire tribeswoman's. Day 5, first challenges. Trouble arrived by sunset. Jabo rushed in, grim. Local officials came uninvited. Say all projects need their approval or no land permits. Nadia seethed. Classic corruption, officials leeching off aid money. Worse, next morning, slick-suited men from African Development Foundation offered to manage the health center for a 30% fee. Scammers. Nadia hissed. But Becky just said, call a meeting. There, the suits droned about global standard RDS and professional oversight. Becky cut in, ever been to Masa know what we actually need? Funding and management. They sneered. Wrong, he said. We need trust. This project. Run by Maasai. Nadia leads. Every shilling transparent. The men stormed off. Firelight wisdom that night, Nadia fretted, they won't stop. Corrupt officials, con artists, jealous rivals. Becky gazed at the stars. On the savannah, lions don't fight hyenas for scraps. They guard what's theirs. But we're not lions. Just people. People with lions. Herts, he said, turning to her. Nadia, will you be this project's protector? Not because I saved you, but because you saved me. She froze. That bowl of porridge taught me real power isn't money. It's who you inspire. And you move people. A deep breath. Then I will. The fire crackled. Wind whispered through grass. The lion had returned. But the Gua writing that was just beginning. Here's a punchy, conversational English translation of your story. Amasa Village. Dawn dust swirled over the clear ring as Mbekki's 3 projects, Health Center, Girls Fund, FA Remain Co-op, kicked into Hayar. News spread like wildfire. Neighboring villagers poured in, fathers signing up daughters for school, elders leaning on canes to ask about the clinic, young men eager to join the co-op. Nadia, now official project coordinator, stood behind a wooden table in her mother's handmade cotton dress. Her brother Moshe, home from Nairobi University, helped input data on his SMA-thon. Uncle A. Russia, we need an office, she said. Mbekki grinned. Our office is the savannah. Our ledger sunlight keeps it honest. Week 1. Trust building. The first $2 million hit the Kenya National Bank account. Samara confirmed via satellite call, funds secured. 3-way oversight, Tribal Council, Village Reps, and Africa Transparency Watch. To build trust, Mbekki launched Open Ledger Days, first Monday each month, every expense posted on the baobab tree. That first Ledger Day, the whole village crowded around. Nadia read aloud through a megaphone. First payment, $500,000 to Masa Village Construction Team, Foreman Kiprotic. Cheers erupted. Kiprotic, a lifelong day laborer, had never led a real project. Second, $300,000 for drip irrigation, Nairobi Green AG Supply. Third, $200,000, 100 girls' first EAR tuition. Names listed. Villagers scrambled to find their names. An old woman traced the paper with trembling fingers. One mother knelt, praying, my child, finally in school. Week 2, site scandal. The health center site buzzed with activity. Kiprotic's crew dug foundations by handed shovels, wheelbarrows, sweat. Then, disaster. Nadia found the storage shed broken into. 10 bags of cement and steel bars gone. Who took these? Her voice shook. This cement saves lives. Silence. Workers avoided her gaze. That night, Mbekki gathered everyone. No yelling, just a story. 30 years back, I stole bread at the mines. Not from hunger, from hopelessness. An old miner caught me. Instead of turning me in, he gave me porridge. Said, poverty's no shame, losing your soul is. He scanned the crowd. Whoever took the cement, I won't hunt you. But remember, that cement might one day save your mother. Next dawn, the stolen steel read in a sack, with a note, sorry. My daughter's sick, wanted to build her a shelter. I was wrong. Mbekki's orders, return the steel. But give that man funds for his daughter's hut. Hearts began to thaw. Week 3, Backpack Dreams. The Girls Fund selected 100 students ages 12 to 18, from 10 villages. They'd attend the new Savannah Girls Academy, fully funded. Prepping for school, Nadia and Moshe shopped in town, backpacks, textbooks, uniforms. Sis, look. Moshe pointed at solar lamps in a shop window. No electricity at night for homework. Nadia hesitated, then bought 50. More next month. Distribution day felt like a festival. Girls in crisp uniforms, Savannah Cholet art backpacks, eyes shining. Little Amina tugged Nadia's sleeve, sister, really university someday. Nadia knelt. If you study hard, yes. Amina burst into tears. Papa says school's wasted on girls, wants me ma ride for dowry. But I don't want to. Nadia hugged her tight. These backpacks CA ride more than books, they CA ride futures. Week 4, Water WARS. The FA Remain Co-op drip irrigation launched. Golden Lions agronomists brought plastic tubing, pumps, soil sensors. Flood irrigation wastes 90% water, they explained. Drip systems target roots 70% less water. Perfect for droughts. Old FA Kaloka scoffed, my ancestors FA med without plastic worms. No arguments. Mbekki split a test plot, half drip, half traditional corn. 1 month later, dripside stalks stood taller, greener. Kaloka touched the leaves, weeping, IFA med 60 ARS, thought change was surrender. But this, hope. He joined the co-op, pledging 5 cattle, Masai wealth. Soon, 300 families followed. Week 5, shadows stir but trouble simmered. Beneath. Anonymous texts hit Nadia's phone, back off or your brother loses his scholarship. Moshi's tuition relied on government grants. Worse, town whispers spread, Nadia slept her way up. Project Whore. Women spat at her well, threw rotten vegetables at her door. Nadia cried in her tent at night. Not for herself, for her family. Becky noticed. No pep talks, just took her to the savannah. See that he pointed to Lion Rock. Legend says an old lion, exiled by younger rivals, still chaw ridged down when hyenas threatened the cubs. You're saying, be like the lion? No. He smiled. Be the wind. Wind doesn't fight, it's rise seeds across mountains. Savannah Summit. Becky called a Savannah Summit, inviting elders, women's groups, youth leaders from 10 villages. Time to clear our Nadia's name. Thousands gathered. Becky stood tall under the Savannah Renewal banner. Some say I'm here to hand out money. Wrong. I'm repaying a debt, 30 Rs. Of Unguay ride nights. Then, turning to Nadia, they call her gold digger. But ask yourselves, if you were starving in that rain, would she have given her last bowl silence? She didn't save me, she saved humanity. Today, I named her chief coordinator. Not for my sake, for hers. He raised her hand. Gua rode her like your water source. Elders chanted blessings. Women draped beaded necklaces over Nadia. Young men ROA read her name. In that moment, Nadia knew. She wasn't that red waitress anymore. She was the Savannah's daughter. The light for 1,000 girls. Night whispers under the stars. Becky sat outside his tent. Nadia approached. Thank you. No thank you, he said. You taught me, real giving isn't gold, it's awakening. From his chest, he pulled a red booklet, the Maasai Renewal Router. When I'm gone, this runs everything. Our Constitution. Nadia opened it. Page 1 read Dignity First. Education for all. Resources. To the people. Tars Weld. This isn't just your plan, it's Africa Shope. Becky gazed at the grasslands. The lion returns, not to rule, but so every cub may run free. The wind ride children's recitations from distant huts. That sound richer than gold. More nourishing than rain. Masa Village, New Dawn. The Savannah mornings weren't quiet anymore. The health center's foundation was set, walls rising. Girls' academy students chanted lessons. Drip irrigation pipes snaked across red EARTH like silver serpents. Progress everywhere, yet Nadia knew, the railstorm was just rooting. Week 1, thieves strike again. Another heist at the health site, this time, solar panels and wiring stolen. Foreman Caprotic kicked the dirt. No power. How do we run surgery? Nadia called the cops. They shrugged, too many cases. Wait your turn. Classic bush country, understaffed, underfunded. Worse village whispers, big projects anger spirits. Outsiders. Disrespect ancestors. Traditionalists demanded witch doctors cleanse the site. Nadia Rely slept. Back down now, everything would collapse. Becky stayed calm. Funds will cover losses. New rule, night Gua RDS. 2 shifts. 50 shillings per Gua road per night. No volunteers. Cold nights. Possible thieves. I'll go first. Nadia Declay read. Moonlight painted eerie shadows as she and Moshi kept watch. Midnight footsteps. Her flashlight shook. Who's there? 2 figures emerged, village youths. They knelt, sobbing, our kids thought we'd steal cash for food, no scolding. Nadia gave them rice and the Gua RD fee. Next morning, she proposed, make it a village watch, hire unemployed as Gua RDs. Becky added, top performers get first dibs on hospital security jobs. HEARTS steadied. Week 2, rumor Vines town gossip metastasized. Tabloid headline, waitress to $1 million AR boss, sex for contracts. With blurry pics of Nadia and Becky talking. Village women sneered at the well, new shoes new watch. How her mother's beadwork stole went unsold. Brother Moshe ate lunch alone, ship more like sister's services. Nadia cried into her blanket at night. Not for herself, her family's shame. Becky's move no loud defense. Just a solo interview with East Africa Voice, why I chose Nadia. Filmed against the half-built clinic, he said. They say I'm senile, trusting a young girl. But ask, who gave her last meal to a stranger who wept over stolen cement but never quit? Direct to camera, Nadia has no connections, no wealth. Just the RARS thing, RT Africa thinks development needs money, tech. Real change starts with trust. She embodies that. Viral overnight. Comments flooded in, this is leadership. Nadia equals our pride. Women's rights groups launched #StandWithNadia, thousands reposting. Week 3, Lone SHRKS court papers. A right, diner boss. Abdullah and Lone Shah RK Hassan sued Nadia for fraud. Claim, she used the diner's name in interviews, harming its reputation. Demand, $100,000. Nadia froze. She'd never mentioned the diner. Pure extortion. Worse, Hassan was the region's debt king, infamous for 300% interest loans. Lose this case, her family's home and livelihood gone. Becky's reaction, a cold smile. Hyenas show their teeth. He dispatched Jabo to hire Lena Oko, Nairobi's top human rights lawyer. Lena dug fast. Abdullah had no business license. Hassan's loans were illegal. This isn't a lawsuit, it's a shakedown, Lena said. We countersue for defamation and usury. Court day. Nadia's palms sweated as Abdullah and Hassan strutted in. Lena dropped bombs. Hospital CCTV showing Nadia alone bringing Becky in. Original social posts proving she never named the diner. Becky's testimony, if Abdullah read about reputation, he'd pay a decade of back taxes first. Case dismissed. Judge Warren Hassan, cease illegal lending. Stepping into sunlight, Nadia understood, the path of goodness has thorns, but justice does speak. Week 4, official approvals, permits stalled. No construction license for the clinic. No school accreditation. No land deeds for the co-op. Jabo went to county offices. The official smiled, just needs a processing fee. $50,000. Approvals in a week. Naked bribery. Becky refused. Samira launched Operation Sunlight, uploading every document to Africa Transparency Watch. Not 1 shilling in bribes, he read. If corruption blocks this project, all Africa will know who. Media frenzy. Human rights groups amplified. Even the president's office noted concerns. 3 days later, permits arrived. Efficiently. Week 5, Savannah Summit. Becky called the second Savannah Summit, while writing our future. Thousands came, neighboring tribes, journalists, NGOs. On the dais, Becky gripped his staff, 2 months of theft, slander, extortion, graft. We endured because this fight isn't for one, but for all. Turning to Nadia, they tried to break you because they fear a girl who ignites hope in thousands. Raising her hand, today, I rename our projects, Nadia Health Center. Savannah Girls Academy. A Russia Nadia FA Remaining Alliance. The crowd ROA read. Development isn't charity, it's awakening. When a girl Leah RNS, a patient heals, a FA Remera beats drought, that's asterisk Africa's renaissance. Asterisk. He knelt, forehead to EARTH, a Russia, swear by the lion, my remaining days belong to this land. Nadia wept. The storms weren't over, but Fia was gone. Behind her now, 1,000 trusting eyes. As bonfires lit the night, children recited their new lesson, kindness falls like rain, silent but sure. RTS glow like dawn, light always wins. The Savannah winds CA ride hope farther than eyes could see. Rainy season arrives, gentle rains. Soap the cracked red EARTH acacia trees sprouted new leaves. The Savannah turned emerald. The health center's roof was sealed. School classrooms gleamed with fresh paint. Drip irrigation hummed to life. But Nadia knew the real test was just beginning. Week 1, the first well rain wouldn't last forever. Becky pushed 4-way RD with drop-proof wells, 1 deep well per village, solar powered pumps ensuring our round water. Drilling began north of Massa. Villagers watched anxiously as the machine ROA read underground. Old Koloka muttered, "Our ancestors never dug past 20 meters, can this metal beast stow it?" Day 8, the drill bit jammed. Rock layer, the engineer said. Need controlled blasting. Panic erupted. Blasts our huts will collapse. EARTH spirits will curse us. Becky called an elders' council. No bulldozing, he brought geologists to explain safely fracturing rock. We're not defying EARTH, he said. Just reaching deeper, like tree roots seeking water. Chief Moisey finally nodded. If ancestors watch, they'd want us to live. Last day, villagers huddled in the safe zone. A muffled thump, then drilling resumed. Dawn on day 12, water erupted 3 meters high, water. Children splashed BA refute. Elders drank from cupped hands. Women lined up with buckets. Nadia stood weeping. She remembered Mama's words, water is life. Without it, families break. Becky joined her, this is Hope Spring. It doesn't just give water, it proves science isn't magic. It's tools for better living. Week 2, back TO school with schools NEARLY ready. Nadia confessed her secret wish, she wanted to study. At 10, poverty had forced her to quit after 4th grade. Now she managed $1 million AR projects, but couldn't write proper reports. Can I join Savannah Girls Academy? She asked Becky. He grinned, you'll be both student and teacher. But Leah Renning. Never too late. Nairobi education granted her adult basic ed status. She'd sit with 12 EAR-olds, STA rooting from 1st grade. First day, Nadia in her blue uniform, Savannah Cholet art backpack. Kids gaped at the big sister. Class, she stood trembling, I'm Nadia. 23. Dropped out 10 years ago. I'm here to Leah RN reports, contracts, to deserve your trust. Silence, then ROA ring applause. A girl hugged her, I want to be brave like you. Nadia studied fiercely, Swahili spelling, math, science. Nights, she pored over Moshe's textbooks by lamplight. Becky often visited class. Not interfering, just smiling. One woman returning to school. More powerful than 10 new buildings. Week 3, curbs and stethoscopes. The health center was ready, but villagers fear red white man medicine. Pills cost too much. Injections weaken you. Elders' herbs work better. Nadia and Becky realized, without blending tradition and modernity, the hospital would sit empty. They convened a healers' summit, tribal elders and Mama Asha, Nadia's mother, the village herbalist. We don't reject herbs, Nadia said. Mama's cures saved many. But pneumonia. Childbirth emergencies, we need doctors. Becky added, we'll have a traditional corner, elders chosen healers working with doctors. Critical cases, Western medicine. Chronic CA herbs. Mama Asha, a leather-bound book of 100+ herbal formulas. Masai wisdom, she said. Mustn't be lost. Opening day, the traditional corner launched with Mama Asha as lead herbalist. Doctors diagnosed, healers advised. Pregnant women got both prenatal vitamins and herbal tonics. An arthritic grandma marveled, pills stop pain fast. Herbs heal deep. Thesis real medicine. Week 4, first patient. Day 1, a critical case arrived, Layla, a neighboring village woman, laboring 24+ hours. Traditional midwives had given up. Her family prepa read for her death. The center's ambulance, a retrofitted used SUV, rushed her in. Diagnosis, breech baby. Emergency C-section. Under solar powered lights, doctors operated. Nadia waited outside, palms sweaty. 2 hours later, mother and daughter stable. Layla, weak but cradling her newborn, wept, without this hospital, my family would be gone. Nadia clasped her hand, speechless. That one bowl of porridge hadn't just saved a billionaire, it was saving generations. Week 5, Harvest Day. The co-op's cornfields yielded their first harvest. Drip irrigation had boosted growth pre-rains. Weigh-in results, 60% higher yield than traditional FA or Mang. After costs, 3,000 shillings per shari, 2 months income for most families. Old Kalokashuk holding cash, lifetime FA Ermang, first time EA running in drought. The co-op also built a small mill, packaging Savannah Gold Ugali flour for town restaurants. Moshi handled e-sales via East Africa. Mayor Katapdok, we're not just FA mayors now, he told villagers. We're businessmen. Gratitude Day. The health center hosted Thanksgiving. 10 villages came. Media. Government observers. Nadia spoke unscripted. At 2 months ago I was a waitress skipping meals. I gave that porridge not for Reva RD, just couldn't watch a man die. But today we're here because we chose to Gua RD stolen cement, expose lies, reject bribes, build this hospital. She held up her battered project ledger. Every shilling in this book has a name. Every brick, textbook, drop of well water is our vow. No African child dies from poverty. Silence, then thunderous applause. Becky draped a lion mane and rainbow thread shawl over her shoulders. From today, Nadia isn't just coordinator, she's Savannah Renewal Soul. Her name belongs to this land. Bonfires lit the night. Children's voices rang from new classrooms. Wellspring, books sing, kindness planted grows. Forests. Gazing at the stars, Nadia whispered, Uncle A. Russia, we did it. Becky smiled, no, child. You did. I just woke up. 5 years later, a transformed Masa village. The Masa village of old was gone. Mud huts had been replaced by brick homes with solar panels. The Nadia Health Center now stood 2 stories tall, with maternity wards, pediatric CARE, and telemedicine rooms. Even Nairobi doctors volunteered there. The Savannah Girls Academy had its first graduates, 3 at university, 1 now the village nurse. The Arusha Nadia FA Remaining Alliance's Old Savannah Gold Cornmeal nationwide, certified organic. But the crown jewel, the Hope Springs Irrigation Network, 10 deep wells linked by underground pipes, snaking like a dragon beneath the savannah, turning 10,000 acres drought-proof. Kenya now called it the Model Resilience Village. Nadia stood on the health center balcony, taking it all in. No longer the timid waitress. Or the oldest student in remedial class, she was now Secretary General of the Savannah Renewal Foundation, managing multi-million-dollar projects, yet still living in her simple red EARTH home. The wedding decision one morning, her fiancé Kapratik, the health center's lead builder and co-op's STARFA Remer, led a cow to her doorstep. In Maasai tradition, this was a marriage proposal. Nadia, he stammered, I've saved the dowry, 10 cattle, 3 bolts of cloth, a new SBAR. Will you marry me? She smiled at the man who'd stood by her through storms. Yes. But the wedding. It'll be my way. What way? No extravagance. No gifts. Just the whole village sharing ugali in the grasslands. Preparations, a simple feast. News spread fast. Elder Moisi insisted, a wedding needs ritual. A shaman's blessings. 10 cattle sacrificed. Nadia shook her head. This is a Savannah wedding, not tradition. I want everyone to see, happiness isn't about show, but RT. She and Mama Asha ground co-op corn into ugali. Schoolgirls wove wildflower GA lands. Kids folded paper cranes, hanging them from acacia trees. Even Becky busied himself, no longer the wee prodigal son, but the vibrant Savannah elder. 3 things I'll do at this wedding, he declared. The big day, a grassland celebration at dawn, villagers arrived in their finest red shukas, beaded necklaces. The health center's children formed a choir, singing. Sister Nadia, brave and bright, brought us water, brought us light. No chapel. No banquet hall. Just a massive encampment, draped with hand-painted banners. Nadia walked a red carpet of packed EARTH on Moshi's ARM, we ring Mama's handmade red dress and a beaded crown. No white gown, yet breathtaking. Kapratik waited in a crisp white shirt, a single wildflower pinned to his chest. Becky, staff in hand, officiated. Maasai weddings unite families. But today, this wedding unites the Savannah because Nadia and Kapratik aren't just a couple. They're guardians of this land. He turned to them, "Do you vow to keep fighting for this village's wells, schools, and fields?" "I do," Nadia said firmly. "I do," Caprotic echoed. The crowd erupted. Becky's three announcements mid-celebration. Becky raised his hand. "Three things I declare today." His voice ride like thunder. "First, I, a Russian Becky, resign as Golden Lion Group chairman. Effective immediately, professional executives will run it." Gasps. Golden Lion was a billion-dollar mining empire. He just walked away. Second, I transfer 10% of Golden Lion Shares permanently to the Maasai Development Trust. Dividends will forever fund Savannah renewal, overseen by villagers and auditors. Silence. 10% meant tens of millions IARLY. Not Shah Red ownership. Third, I'm staying in Masa village. Not as a billionaire, just a Russia. A Maasai son. He knelt, offering his staff back to Elder Moise. "Let me guard this land as a simple villager." Tears streamed down Moise's face as he returned the staff. "You'll always be our elder." The afterpay Rudy bonfires lit the night. Villagers passed bowls of Ugalian stewed beans. Children danced. Young men strummed guitars, singing a new song of the savannah. Nadia and Caprotic sat by the flames, smiling. "Sca Red," he whispered. "The stakes just got higher." "No," she leaned into him. "Because we're not alone. Look," she pointed. The health center's lights glowed. Doctors on night shift. Girls studied by lamplight in the academy. Co-op workers prepped Savannah gold shipments for dawn. In the distance, Hope Springs pumps hummed, feeding tomorrow's crops. The whole Savannah walks with us. Echoes beyond the wedding video went viral. Billionaire quits to Guarota village. Headlines, East African Times, a new African philanthropy empowerment, not handouts. UN Development Program, the Masa Model, a blueprint for sustainable communities. Youth comments, "I'm going home to change my village." In Tanzania, Golden Lion's new C announced, inspired by Becky, will share 5% of profits with local communities. RLY. Night talk, the Lion's legacy. Later, under the STARS, Nadia asked Becky, "Any regrets?" "Leaving everything behind," he chuckled. 30 years ago, I thought success meant skyscrapers and private jets. Now success is a girl reading, a mother surviving childbirth, a FA mayor counting his EA earnings with pride. Nodding Tawa RD the health center, that light brighter than any Boa Rudrum. "What about me?" she asked softly. "Can I CARY your torch? You've right it since the day you gave me that porridge," he said, handing her the updated Maasai Renewal Cha router. She flipped to the last page. A new rule of 4, true leaders a rent on thrones. Therein he RTS. TARS Weld. You taught me real wealth isn't having, it's giving. Becky gazed at the savannah. A lion's duty isn't to rule the plains. It's to ensure every creature thrives in the sun. The wind ride children's voices, water pumps hum, and the land's eternal whisper. The wedding was over. But the story of Guardianship had only just begun. 10 years later, Masa village, a beacon of hope. Time had transformed Masa from a forgotten speck on the map into a shining example of what African communities could achieve. The once Ren savannah now thrived. Solar panels glinted on rooftops, irrigation channels snaked like silver veins, and the Savannah Girls Academy had grown into the Savannah Institute, offering vocational training in FA nursing, and even coding. The Nadia Health Center was now the Maasai Regional Medical Hub, equipped with telemedicine and ultrasound, serving 30 villages. Young people from Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda came to study the Masa model. And at the heart of it all, Nadia. No longer the timid waitress, but mother of the savannah, not just for leading change, but for raising 6 orphan children as her own. Morning lessons in the vocational classroom, Nadia taught a group of young women. Project budgets aren't about money, they're about dignity. Every shilling must serve people. A student raised her hand. What if someone tries to steal funds? Let them see the books, Nadia smiled. Every expense is posted at the village SQUA. Sunlight kills corruption. After class, her brother Moshe, now head of Savannah Digital, using drones and apps to manage FARMS, approached her. "Sis, The Tanzanian president wants you and Uncle A Russia at the African Community Leaders Summit. Nadia shook her head. Send Uncle. He's the elder. Moshi pressed, * they asked for you. Said Nadia. Masa symbolizes Africa's new strength. Becky's choice in his simple tent, the now white-haired Becky, NEA ring 70, sat reviewing the invitation. Go, Nadia said, handing him tea. Show them the lion's path still walks. He chuckled. I'm old. Words tire me. Then take me. I'll speak for you. Becky's eyes gleamed with pride. The girl who'd given him porridge now ride nations on her back. Fine. But I sit in the audience, watching you shine. The summit, Africa's Don Dares Salaam's conference hall buzzed with leaders from 50 nations. The theme, how can development truly reach the people? Becky sat quietly in the front row. Nadia stood on stage, holding her decade-old ledger. 10 years ago, I was a starving waitress. I fed a dying man not for Reva RD, but because no one should die in the rain. The room still. That bowl of porridge became wells, schools, clinics, farms. It fed 300 families, sent 100 girls to university, saved 1,000 mothers in childbirth. She raised the ledger. Every coin here has a name. Not because I'm special, because we chose no theft, no surrender, no silence. Her voice sharpened, Africa hears too many lies, poor people are lazy, progress needs outsiders. But I say, poverty isn't stupidity, it's stolen opportunity. Masa didn't rise from a billionaire's wallet, but from people's hands. The crowd erupted. Women leaders stood, TRS in their eyes. The torch passes post-summit, the African Union launched 1,000 Villages Revival, replicating Masa's model. Nadia was named chief advisor. Returning home, she found the village dancing. Children waved signs, welcome home, mother. Elders knelt in prayer. Becky draped a new shawl over her, woven with lion hair, rainbow thread, and 100 beads, each representing a life changed. You surpassed me, he said. Nadia knelt, forehead to ground. You taught me, kindness isn't the end, it's the start. The last sunset 2 years later, Becky fell ill. Just old age, doctors said. He refused hospitals, choosing his tent. In his final hours, the village gathered. I, a Russia, chased towers and gold, he whispered. But true wealth true legacy memory. To Nadia, you're the bravest soul I've known. The savannah's lion is you now. Closing his eyes, tell the children. Kindness falls like rain, silent but sure as the sunset, painting the grass gold. He slipped away smiling. The village sang the ancient homecoming song. They buried him by Hope Springs, his tombstone wordless, just a lion's silhouette. Epilogue, the wind song years later, in the Savannah Institute, a teacher pointed to photos on the wall. This is Nadia Masa, mother of the Savannah. This is a Russian Becky, the lion who returned. One bowl of porridge changed a village. And lit a continent. A little girl asked, can I be like Nadia? The teacher smiled, yes. Just share your food when someone's hungry. Outside, the wind rustled the grass, whispering a story without end. On Hope Springs stone, words were read. Here lies not a man, but a belief goodness always returns. The lion slept. But the savannah's wind ride his roar into tomorrow.